one. It's Pastor Maldonado ahead of Fernando Alonso. Is Maldonado off the track? Oh, they do touch.
Maldonado came from off the racetrack there.
Paf door de grindbak.
We see Chilton then. Oh, with Maldonado.
They'll have to red flag this.
Terrible. Look, this is quite appalling. This is the worst start for a Grand Prix that I have ever seen in the whole of my life.
Forget legends. Forget champions. Today, we're talking about the chaos king of Formula One, the only man who could turn a podium into a punchline, banned from Monaco, powered by oil money, and feared by marshals more than his rivals. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the wildest, most unpredictable racer F1 has ever seen, Pastor Maldonado. Let's talk about the craziest Formula One driver ever to touch a steering wheel. A man so chaotic, so unpredictable that he got banned from Monaco for life. His driving is more like a demolition derby on turbo. Every race was a gamble, crash, or miracle. His entry into Formula One was hilarious and messy. His funding is suspicious. Yep, we're diving into the roller coaster life of Pastor Maldonado. Pastor was born in Maracay, Venezuela. In 1985, he got into racing extremely early. As young as 4 years old on a BMX bike, he was already a runner-up in the national scene as a toddler. Then came go-karts at age 7. But here's the twist. Venezuela isn't exactly a motorsport hub. Most families struggled just to get by. Racing wasn't exactly affordable. So yeah, it's a miracle he even made it to Europe to chase his dream. In 2003, Pastor started racing single-seaters in Formula Renault. His first season was not great. He finished 28th and earned no points. But hey, we all start somewhere. That same year, he actually did better in Italy and even won a small Winter Cup. Not huge, but still progress. Then in 2004, something clicked. Maldonado smashed the Italian Formula Renault Championship. 8 wins, 6 pole. He even got a taste of F1, testing with Minardi. For a moment, it felt like this guy was really going places. But then, Monaco happened. In 2005, racing in the World Series by Renault, Pastor did something so wild. I'm still not sure how to explain it. During a practice session, yellow flags came out, meaning slow down, danger on track. Everyone obeyed. Everyone but Pastor. He came flying through, nearly killed a track marshal, and yeah, got banned for life from racing in Monaco. Let that sink in. The Venezuelan government, especially under Hugo Chavez, stepped in and somehow paid off the fine. No one knows the exact amount, but it was definitely not cheap. Chavez saw Maldonado not just as a racer, but as a national symbol. It was all PR, and Pastor was tight with the regime. That relationship would carry him a long way, like to Formula One. After his suspension, he raced in Formula 3000 for a bit, cleaned up his image, but drama followed. Even when he won a race in Misano, he got disqualified due to technical issues. Still, the dude had raw speed. He moved to GP2, the final step before F1, in 2007, and started finding his groove. By 2010, Pastor Maldonado wasn't just participating in GP2, he was owning it, racing with Rapex. He absolutely dominated the field. He racked up 6 wins, landed on the podium twice more, and collected a massive 87 points. That wasn't just a good season, that was a mic drop. He didn't just win, he made it look easy. GP2 was the final stepping stone to Formula One, and Pastor stomped all over it like it owed him money. With stats like that, most drivers would have been handed an F1 contract wrapped in gold foil. Nothing came easy, not even with a trophy in hand. He still needed one more push to break into the elite circle of Formula One. And guess who picked up the phone? Yep, Hugo Chavez again. The Venezuelan president wasn't about to let his racing prodigy be ignored. With state pride on the line and a fellow countryman knocking on F1's door, Chavez decided it was time to back him with big oil money. The government-owned oil giant, PDVSA, came in clutch with a massive sponsorship deal. We're talking millions. Suddenly, teams that weren't answering the pastor's calls before were all ears. That's what happens when you walk in waving oil-rich checks. Williams F1, one of the most historic names in the sport, just happened to have an open seat. And money, especially in Formula One, talks louder than talent sometimes. Just like that, Pastor Maldonado became the 3rd Venezuelan driver in Formula One history, not because the whole paddock wanted him, but it was politics, pressure, and a pile of cash that made it happen. It was a move fueled as much by strategy as it was by state sponsorship. So there he was, lined up on the grid in 2011, officially a Formula One driver. But let's be real, his rookie season was a disaster. Not just rough. We're talking seatbelt wearing levels of wild. The Williams car that year was pure junk. Constant mechanical failures, technical gremlins, and about as much downforce as a dinner plate. It was like the pastor was handed a go-kart and told to fight fighter jets. But here's the thing, he didn't exactly help himself either. He scored his first Formula One points at the Belgian Grand Prix. Not bad, right? But no one remembers that. You know what they do remember? The crashes, South many CR. Crashes. Pastor quickly gained a reputation for driving like he was in a demolition derby instead of a Formula One race. He took out other drivers, spun on his own, misread blue flag, and once, in Canada, he lost his front wing. Twice, in the same race. How does that even happen? The memes came fast. The jokes were brutal. The nickname Crash Tour Maldonado caught on like wildfire. And F1's Wrecking Ball? That one stuck hard. He even found time to get into a beef with Lewis Hamilton. Repeatedly. Those two collided multiple times, and every single time, Pastor had an excuse. Lewis cut me off. He didn't leave space. The moon was in retrograde. You name it, he said it. But the stewards weren't buying it. By the end of the year, Williams finished 9th in the Constructors' Championship. Their worst season ever. That's a pretty big deal for a team that once ruled the sport. But the chaos had only just begun. Enter 2012. New year, new teammate, new engine deal with Renault. But one thing hadn't changed, Maldonado's vibe. In the first race, he was already back on his nonsense, crashing into Romain Grosjean and wrecking on the last lap while running in the point like clockwork. But then something insane happened in Spain. Barcelona, round 5, out of nowhere, literally nowhere. Pastor Maldonado put his car on pole position. P1, top of the timesheets. First Venezuelan ever to do it. People couldn't believe it. Was this a glitch in the matrix? Was the timing system broken? Nope. It was real. Pastor had just parked his Williams on the front row, and it didn't stop there. The next day, on race day, he actually won. Straight up, no weather chaos, no lottery strategy. He just drove the wheels off that car and beat Fernando Alonso in Spain on Alonso's home turf, and did it on Frank Williams' 70th birthday. It was like the Formula One gods looked down and said, let's give this guy his moment. But the magic didn't last. Just one race later, Pastor returned to his regularly scheduled programming. Spinning, smashing, misjudging, misfiring. He became a walking penalty magnet, receiving fines, grid drops, and reprimands, the full buffet. It was as if Barcelona was a dream, and the rest of his season was a crash montage. He ended 2012 with 45 points and one glorious win, but most people only remembered the chaos, not the trophy. And this, right here, is what makes Pastor Maldonado so iconic. He didn't climb the F1 ladder like a smooth operator. 1350 to 1446, he blasted through it like a wrecking ball with state backing. One week, he looked like a future world champion. Next, he looked like he had forgotten what a brake pedal was. He brought drama. He brought unpredictability. He brought content. And whether you loved him or screamed at your TV, he made sure you never looked away. From his early days doing BMX tricks in Venezuela, to being banned from Monaco races in junior formulas, to becoming a Grand Prix winner, Pastor Maldonado's career was a full-blown roller coaster, a beautiful mess of speed, ego, explosions, and state-funded dreams. In the end, he didn't win world title. He didn't become a legend in the record books. But ask any F1 fan to name a driver who gave us moments we'll never forget, and Pastor's name will come flying out like a loose wheel at turn 1. Love him or roast him, Pastor Maldonado was pure, unapologetic chaos. And Formula One hasn't been the same since. If you laughed, cringed, or yelled, "What is he doing?" even once during his career, hit that like button. If you want more wild F1 stories, underdog chaos, or just some good old-fashioned racing drama, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.